Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is having a fantastic afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, graduation season is among us. Us fellow graduates have finally received the luxury derived from walking across that stage, obtaining your bachelor's degree, obtaining your master's degree, obtaining your doctorate degree, whatever certification, whatever award applicable to your academics. You are finally able to reap the benefits of your hard work. This is something historical. This is something monumental. This is an occurrence that shouldn't be neutralized to a minute thing. This is something that you can be finally deemed as a first generation figure within your family tree to officially graduate. That is something phenomenal. That is something that should be exhilarating to you. And you should use this as an opportunity to pat yourself on the back. You did it. Years of hard work, years of persistence, diligence, them scenarios where you had to stay up late at night, even when you really didn't want to. You wanted to crash on your pillow, go to sleep, dream, rejuvenate for the next day. But no, you were aware of the ramifications derived from not completing your assignment within a specific threshold. Your time management skills were thoroughly enunciated and you responded. You rose to the occasion and you completed that assignment. You were able to neutralize the many occurrences that were holding you back, the many distractions, the temptation to commit to something external from your academics that wasn't going to benefit you. You deflected it all, and it resulted in this historical feat. This is an exhilarating occurrence and shouldn't be overlooked, if I could say the least. And me personally, like I mentioned previously, I don't remember if I mentioned it, but I'm also someone who has officially completed their undergraduate program. I specifically completed my undergrad program back in December. I had to wait until May, obviously, specifically May 9th, to finally walk across that stage. And immediately, me reflecting upon my journey. I've been going to school since I was 4 years old. Preschool. I'm currently 24 years old, so exactly 2 decades later, I have officially received my bachelor's degree in communications. And man, it's definitely a great feeling. The dissemination of words that I relayed to you just now, I have definitely been applying to myself, man. And like I said, if you guys are watching this video, if this applies to you, and if you have not celebrated this occurrence, if you are brushing this off as something minute, you're doing it the wrong way. Because this is something, when it comes to college is not for everybody. Not everybody is able to finish college. Not everyone has the willpower within themselves to commit to something as strenuous that is college. And sometimes it's not really, it's something that may be uncontrollable. Like obviously when it comes to finances, that is something that, not everybody has within their disposal, which is why I am forever going to count my blessings. And you should do the same as well. But then you have the other end of the spectrum, right? Where there's a specific amount of people who have the opportunity to pursue their academics within the college atmosphere. And, the way the curriculum works, the way college is structured, it's simply something that doesn't resonate with them. So they end up dropping out and they end up pursuing something else, And there's totally nothing wrong with that. Everybody's journey is never ever going to be congruent. It's never ever going to be congruent, exactly the same. We all have our different journeys, and if college isn't for you, that is completely fine. Something else is out there for you, and it's up to you to discover that. So whoever graduated, congratulations. God bless you. This is something that you should be extremely thrilled about. So I want to talk about something else too, correlated to college, life after graduation. I feel as though when it comes to the college experience, obviously when you graduate high school, you are then going to be exposed to the actual real world. But I feel as though upon graduating college altogether, that is the you're going to be exposed to yet another component, another environment deemed as the real world, if that makes sense, right? So this is something that I converse about with my friends all the time. The notion of college being a scam, and there's many subgroups pertaining to this concept in particular. Considering the fact that consider this, right? Consider the concept of automatically landing a job once you receive a degree. This is something that I feel as though throughout the years has been depicted upon generation through generation. Like I would say, I'm gonna just spoil it right now. I feel as though this notion is a fabrication to a certain degree. The fairy tale ending of you obtaining your bachelor's degree, which is going to automatically translate into you landing an opportunity of your desires, landing the opportunity correlated to your field. That is a fairy tale. That is a fabrication. A degree no longer guarantees a job opportunity. Those days are over. Those days are long gone. Those days are finito. If you receive a degree, you are still going to undergo months, possibly even years of trials and tribulations where you mass apply to various opportunities tailored to your craft, tailored to your the field that you study, communications. So I graduated with a communications degree. Like I mentioned, completed my undergrad program back in December, and I'm still jobless. I'm still unemployed. It has been an absolute struggle to find a job, right? And this is something that can also apply to you, but you have the wild cards where they are actually able to land a job of their desires, land a job correlated to their field. That is something that we're going to talk more about as we progress further in this video, right? So that is one end of the spectrum in terms of the concept of college being a scam. If you think of it within the notion of, okay, get my degree, I'm going to get a job. If you think like that, then you're going to be disappointed more times than not. And from that lens, yes, college is a scam based on that mindset, that perspective. However, if you consider the overall experience of college, the positive experience that you gain from college, right? College is definitely 100% what you make of it. If you play your cards correctly, you're able to retain valuable lifelong skills, experiences predicated to what you want to pursue. Me personally, I participated as a sports director for my school's radio station. We broadcasted tons of games. I collaborated with tons of reputable figures, professionals. I made tons of connections, right? As well as I participated and put myself in environments to meet new people in different clubs, different organizations throughout the campus. And it was definitely a thrilling thing for me. Like, I've learned so much about myself. I've learned so much about the surrounding elements, whether if it's a person, whether if it's a skill that needed to be mandated to complete a task. So I was able to incorporate tons of skills within my repertoire. I was able to improve my writing, communication, this, that, and a third. From that perspective, college is not a scam. If you're receiving skills that could actually benefit you in the long run, if you're putting yourself in spaces to learn said skill, it's not a scam. It's definitely what you make of it. And you may consider the scenario of, I feel as though there's a common misconception when people depict this image of the college experience, for lack of better terms, right? I feel as though from the outside looking in, people may automatically assume the college experience is the amount of parties you attend, the amount of females you may interact with, the amount of women you may interact with from an intimate level, or whatever the case may be, or you indulging in drugs within these parties. A lot of people automatically assume, and this is coming from me too, because this is something that I have assumed as well before actually dedicating my life around college, right? So a lot of people automatically assume the college experience is about having these or attending these parties, these fraternity events or whatever the case may be, right? If you're thinking along the lens of attending these events, then I feel as though you're not receiving the experience from the best of quality in terms of college. Because yes, it's essential for you to have fun, do your thing. Life is short. Experience new things, right? But in terms of the specific quality, when it comes to experience, I feel as though the best quality you can receive from college is to actually learn something useful. You learn something productive throughout your tenure. And from that perspective, it's not a scam. So it's definitely, if you consider the standpoint, I would say, and your intention, your motive when it comes to going to college, it depends whether or not if you deem college a scam or not. So life after college, I'm gonna get it to the next point. Life after college can be a tale of two circumstances, ladies and gentlemen. This is something that I briefly touched upon within my previous point. The first point, immediately landing an opportunity upon graduation. So this criteria applies to individuals who, I mean, this could be predicated to you undergoing your second to last semester, your absolute final semester. This could be something that was planned years prior. You may already have an opportunity lined up for you upon your graduation. You may have been able to find an opportunity before the conclusion of your final semester, so that when you actually graduate, when you actually receive your degree, the opportunity is going to be served to you on a silver platter, and you're immediately in the workforce. This is 100% possible. And going back to the point that I was alluding to prior, the concept of automatically landing a job once you receive a degree. A degree is a fabrication, is a fairy tale. It's not inherently a fabrication, because it is possible for this outcome to transpire. It's just considering the economy. You guys are already aware about how putrid the job market is nowadays, and how asinine it is to discover a job of your desires. You may feel as though you are well qualified to fulfill an opportunity that you're applying to, and you're still unable to land that job. But sometimes that is not always the case. So it's best to have that mindset of nuance when thinking about that. And then the next point I'm going to refer to is a point that I feel as though is the most common nowadays. It's literally the opposite of what I just mentioned. Upon graduation, you may feel directionless. You have your degree, but still cannot find a job. You mass apply any and everywhere, but still cannot find a job. And this is something that can 100% feel demoralizing. You invested your time and effort into your academics, and it feels as though your efforts were in vain. Your efforts may be in vain because you may had the mindset that, okay, I am investing into myself. I am pouring into myself. I am putting in my due diligence to complete these assignments under desperate measures. And mind you, there is more to life than just college, right? So there may be something else within your life that may be transpiring, force you to have to attend to that, which will unintentionally provoke you to possibly fall behind, or whatever the case may be, right? Life can be extremely unpredictable. It can be extremely adverse. So despite everything that may transpire, you still got the job done, and your efforts, your hard work, dedication still couldn't translate to you finding a job right after college. You are directionless. And this is when it comes to this, right? This is something that, like I said, applies to me 100%. I've been applying to jobs for months upon months, ever since the previous job that I had, the contract was eventually terminated, and I've been out of a job since specifically January 2nd of this year. You know, applying to jobs every single day can be emotionally, mentally taxing. I mean, you have to hop from job application to job application, submit your resume, enter the details comprised within your resume within that platform that you're applying to, having to curate account after account. It could be draining, it could be tiresome. But this alludes to my next point. Life after college 100% requires tons of discipline and faith. Like I mentioned, when you graduate high school, you are officially going to be incorporated into the real world. Once you graduate college is the actual real world. That is, you have to graduate college, and then now you are planning to construct your empire, purchase a house, purchase your dream car, have a family. And all of that comes with bills. All of that comes with having to pay mortgage within a specific time frame. And you know the ramifications involved in you not fulfilling your end of the bargain when it comes to having to pay bills by a specific time threshold. You know the ramifications. So it's definitely taxing. Adulthood, as my father always tells me, is extremely overrated. It requires tons of responsibility, but it's your job to never, ever, ever give up. Never, ever, ever give up. You are going to find a job of your desires in due time. Maybe it's just not your time to be called upon within that specific space. Maybe it's not the right space for you. Maybe you have to be redirected to somewhere else where your official calling, where your calling is officially required, ladies and gentlemen. But it's up to you to experiment. It's up to you to explore, really find yourself, really learn yourself, really discover your actual passions, so you can be redirected into a space of your desires, of your calling, of your destiny, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about timing. It's all about trial and error. Life is all about trial and error. You having to try things that you may not be the most familiar with. You having to mess up, make mistakes. But that's how you learn. That's how you grow. That's how you develop. And granted, you experience some of these components in college within itself. But man, feeling directionless could be a travesty within your eyes. But within my personal perspective, I feel as though the art of feeling directionless could motivate you to want to expose yourself to new things, learn a new hobby, learn a new skill, invest into your craft, pour into yourself. Maybe you are out of a job right now despite your efforts in trying to land one, because maybe that's a sign that you need a break. Like I mentioned, I've been going to school since I was 4 years old. Me being out of a job for this amount of time, I'm just taking it as a sign that yes, I have completed my task in terms of obtaining my bachelor's degree in communications. So now I'm reaping the benefits of me actually having a break, me actually having the leverage to learn new things. Because if I was working, I wouldn't have a significant amount of leverage comparable to now to be able to invest into what I need to learn. So definitely a lot of trial and error. Definitely going to be many times where life can fight. Definitely going to be a lot of times where life knocks you to the ground with a 1-2 punch combo. But you have to get up no matter how painful it feels, no matter how painful it is. And I'm telling you right now, in due time, your efforts will be translated into something significant, something of reputation, something monumental. Just trust and believe. I trust you. And if you don't believe that, best believe God trusts you. God believes in you. God cherishes you. Yes, that's the word. Without further ado, that's going to be the end of my ramble. Like I said, for whoever graduated, congratulations. You are going to go far in life and continue to remain the course. I believe in you, man. I believe in you. I believe in you. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you guys the next time I feel led to record another video. Deuces.